Good afternoon. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us to the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the afternoon. My name is Badhun Das. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified international educational and training institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional IGP is a training faculty for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to student job seeker, job holder, and also for learner the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and world knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to meet, learn their expectation, and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and content on improvements so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,498 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,498 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for once with your profile information. Note that with your profile information, you will enjoy all features. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session, we will not provide you with any code of certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online quiz competition winner, then you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organized combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of instant certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeker Campaign 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskill Organizational Leadership and Management Skill, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research a Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching Special Program in the Art, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tools in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quizzes with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teachers. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition. We solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check our dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to you. Check all button and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you. But note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1499 webinar, which name is Nursing and Medical Assistance. And today our speaker's name is Andreas Klum. He is from Germany. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, sir, wants to share a very little bit about him. Journalist, author, publisher, and new editor of British New Flash magazine. Genevieve, the founder of Liberty and Peace, now human rights reporter. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir. Good
Hello,
afternoon.
good afternoon.
Sir, the stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Thank you very much. Welcome to all listeners, viewers, and participants on this program, Nursing and Medical Assistance. First of all, very special thanks to the IGP Institute of Global Professionals for the honor for having me with this program, Nursing and Medical Assistance. My name is Andreas Klamm, also known as Andreas Klamm Sabaoth. Today, I will share some personal opinion, knowledge, experience, and visions, which is based upon professional and personal experience as a registered nurse RN since 1993, with work experience as a registered nurse of about 28 years, both in Germany and the United Kingdom. By grace, I have been able to study journalism and I have received a degree in journalism also. I'm born in Germany and I've been able to receive more than one training. As a journalist and media producer, I'm also active as a publisher of several international and multinational media outlets, such as British Newsflash magazine, Liberty and Peace Now Human Rights Supporters, and IFN International Family Network D734 since 1984 and 1986. Since my grandfather from the mother sides, Mr. Hedi Sabaoth, back in 1946, was serving as a French army officer of a French regular army in World War II. He has been deployed for the French army to German city of Kaiserslautern. Since 1984, I'm working as a journalist, author, TV and radio and media producer. I'm also registered as a musician, music producer, composer, singer, and songwriter. I'm the author of 12 books published in the English and the German language. I've been born on February 6, 1968, in the German city of Ludwigshafen am Rhein in Germany. Since the year 2016, I'm a registered global citizen in Sweden. I'm registered in the Global Citizenship Registry. The Global Citizenship Registry is an independent, cooperative, international non-governmental organization (NGO) made up of individual human beings empowered by the divine force of nature as children of Mother Earth through international law, maritime law, model national laws, and the United Nations under obligatory treaties, conventions, and accords, etc. You will be able to get more information on the Global Citizenship Registry on www.globalcall.net. My degree in journalism I have received after studying journalism from 2013 to 2016 in the year 2016. I became also, after a training of 3 years, a registered nurse in Germany. Thankfully, I've been born to a multinational family and therefore I have got involved in volunteer work for international understanding, human rights, and human dignity. Also, I'm active as a volunteer engaged in several social and multinational projects for human rights, human dignity, media, and arts. From 2003 to 2004, I've been a student with the Protestant University of Applied Science in the German city of Ludwigshafen am Rhein in nursing management. From October 1990 to October 1993, I have received a training of 3 years as a nurse with a regional community hospital and nursing school in the city of Reutlingen. I have received my degree as a nurse in October 1993. I do live I do live and work in Germany, which is a part of the European Union and of Europe. There are several options in Germany to study nursing and to receive a training as a registered nurse RN in Germany. Nursing is a combination of theoretical instruction at the nursing school and practical instruction in the hospital. In total, the training lasts 3 years full time. Part time training is also possible. This lasts 4 years or sometimes even 5 years. A secondary school leaving certificate or another equivalent completed school education is required for the job as a registered nurse in Germany. It is also possible to complete the training with a secondary school leaving certificate or an equivalent school education and completed vocational training of at least 2 years. From my experience, I recommend at least an intermediate school leaving certificate for training as a registered nurse. Let me take a look at the United Kingdom to compare the different options for training as a nurse and registered nurse. According to the NHS National Health System in the United Kingdom, entry requirements for nursing degree courses vary because of each university sets its own entry criteria, but you are likely to need at least two, usually three A levels or equivalent qualifications at level 3, plus supporting GCSEs, including English, maths, and science, usually biology or human biology. Many universities offer degrees in nursing. You can find a list of courses by using the course finder of the NHS. If you already have a degree in a relevant subject, you can often get recognition for this. It is called accreditation of prior experiential learning, APEL, enabling you to do a postgraduate course in 3 years. In 2 rather than 3 years. Online degrees to become a nurse in the United Kingdom. From January 2021, some universities are offering adult nursing courses where theoretical content is mainly delivered online, making it easier to fit studies around home life. You can search for the course, sometimes called blended courses. You will be able to find a lot of information how to become a nurse in the United Kingdom on the website of the NHS on www.healthcareers.nhs.uk. Nursing degree. Most people qualify by studying a degree in nursing. Nursing degrees aren't all about having your nose in a book. There is a lot of practical hands-on experience with patients in hospital and community settings. The first thing to decide is which field of nursing you want to study in. Different of these fields of nursing, you will have the opportunity to make a real difference to lives of people each and every day. The four fields of nursing are adult nursing, children's nursing, learning disability nursing, and mental health nursing. There are some degree courses that allow you to study in two of the fields. These are known as dual field degrees. Once you have qualified, you will be able to work as a nurse anywhere in the United Kingdom and even internationally. Since many years, there is a shortage of nurses both in the United Kingdom and in Germany. Nursing and the nurse Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale lived from 1820 to 1910. She was a British nurse, social reformer, and statistician. She was the founder of modern nursing. She came from a wealthy background, was born in Italy, and named after the city of her birth. On May 12th, many nurses have celebrated the 201st anniversary of Florence Nightingale's birth. She continues to be recognized as the nurse leader who revolutionized nursing by using collecting and using data, introducing hygiene practices that reduced mortality and rates, and providing reports to governmental leaders about changes required to improve military health care among British troops as well as civilian public health. Florence didn't dream of becoming a nurse in her earlier years, but at 16 she had a religious awakening and became convinced that her destiny was to do God's work. That is when she decided to become a nurse. Her parents were opposed to her decision because nursing was regarded as a disreputable and suitable only for lower class women. Florence, however, was not deterred and attended the prestigious Kaiserwerth Nursing School in Germany. Early in her nursing career, she served as a superintendent of a London hospital focused on caring of governesses, and in 1853 she cared for prostitutes during a cholera epidemic. Florence is most widely known for her role in the Crimean War between Great Britain and Russia. She was sent to the Barak Hospital at Scutari, Turkey, where she cared for thousands of sick and wounded British troops. She had 38 nurses to help care for soldiers with wide ranging maladies such as frostbites, gangrene, dysentery, and cholera. During her first winter, 4,077 soldiers died. 10 times more soldiers died from disease than from battle wounds. In 1855, a sanitary commission was sent to Scutari in Turkey. They flushed out sewers, cleaned out overflowing latrines and cesspits, and removed a dead horse that was contaminating the drinking water. With such changes, the mortality rate dropped from 42.7% to 2.2% over a few months. Over the course of her life, Florence continued to gather data about various aspects of medical care. She sent surveys to hospital administrators, collected and analyzed healthcare data, wrote numerous reports, and established investigative commissions. Her analysis provided findings about the proportion of recoveries and deaths from a variety of diseases, average disease trajectories, and recovery times according to patients' ages and gender. She also investigated the high rates of communicable diseases among hospital workers. Florence came to believe that using statistics to understand how the world worked was to understand the mind of God. She became the first woman to be made a fellow in the Royal Statistical Society. Having confined herself to a hotel room while recovering from Crimean fever, Florence published her notes on hospitals and notes on nursing in 1859. Despite her personal brush with his fever and near-death symptoms, Florence initiated dramatic changes not only in the military hospitals but in the formation of her own Nightingale School of Nursing, which opened to the first students in 1860. Although too ill to teach in the school, the education of nurses and hospital administrators became important aspects of her legacy. Florence was an unwavering champion of disease prevention and an outspoken advocate for mental health, education, including health education and public health. Her concern for society's disadvantaged led to her criticism of poor laws and her insistence that Parliament improve workhouses and shelters for the poor, where the sick and the infirm were placed in separate wards with nurses to care for them. She talked and wrote about housing access, clean air and water, and improved sanitation methods. Essentially, she put forth the notion that healthcare is a human right. More information you will find on nursing.utexas.edu. According to the European Commission, Employment, Social Affairs and Inclusion Together for Rights, the strategy for persons with disabilities. 87 million people in the EU have a disability. 50% plus feel discriminated against. 50.8% are in employment. 40.9% can meet unexpected expenses, and 1 million plus under 65s live in institutions. You will find more information on this issue on ec.europa.eu. Social. Despite progress in many areas, persons with disabilities still face considerable barriers in access to healthcare, education, employment, leisure activities, and participation in political life. The issue is not merely a concern for persons with disability or advocacy groups, but for society as a whole. Together for Rights campaigns for everyone to enjoy their rights and live as equal as genuine union of equality. Nurses and human rights. The International Council of Nurses, ICN, endorses the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. General Comment number 14 to the Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights and the International Bill of Human Rights that brings together the key human rights agreement of the United Nations. The International Council of Nursing, ICN, position on nursing and human rights is to be interpreted with the framework of these international human rights agreements and the ICN's Code of Ethics for Nurses. ICN views healthcare as a right of all individuals that is available, affordable, and culturally acceptable regardless of financial, social, political, geographic, racial, or religious consideration. This includes the right to choose or decline care and to accept or refuse treatment or nourishment, the right to be treated with respect, the right to informed consent, including to be free of non-consensual medical treatment such as forced or coerced sterilization, and the right to confidentiality and dignity, including the right to die with dignity and to be free from pain, torture, and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. Human rights and nurses' role. ICN recognizes that all human rights are interdependent and indivisible, that individuals' health and well being can be harmed with a right in any category are violated. Nurses have an obligation to safeguard, respect, and actively promote people's health rights at all times in all places. This includes ensuring that an advocate care is provided with the resources available in accordance with nursing ethics. As well, the nurse is obliged to ensure that patients receive the appropriate information in understandable language prior to consenting to treatment or procedures, including participation in research. The use of coercion or manipulation to obtain consent is unethical and a violation of human rights and professional codes of conduct for nurses. Nurses are accountable for their own actions and inactions in safeguarding human rights, while national nursing associations (NNAs) have a responsibility to participate in the development of health and social policy and legislation related to patients' rights. The International Council of Nurses is a federation of more than 130 national nurses associations representing 28 million nurses worldwide. Operated by nurses operated by nursings and leading nurses internationally. ICN works to ensure quality nursing care for all, sound health policies globally, with the advancement of nursing knowledge and the presence worldwide of a respected nursing profession and competent and satisfied nursing workforce. Nursing definitions. The ICN, International Council of Nursing, is sharing important nursing definitions, which I will share with you today too. Definition of nursing. Nursing encompasses autonomous and collaborative care of individuals at all ages, families, groups, and communities, sick or well, in all settings. Nursing includes the promotion of health, prevention of illness, and the care of ill, disabled, and dying people. Advocacy, promotion of a safe environment, research, participation in shaping health policy, and in patient and health systems management and education are also key nursing roles according to the ICN. Long definition. Nursing is an integral part of the healthcare system, encompasses the promotion of health, prevention of illness, and care of physical ill, mentally ill, and disabled people of all ages in all healthcare and other community settings. Within this broad spectrum of healthcare, the phenomena of particular concern to nurses are individual, family, and group responses to actually or potential health problems, according to ANA in 1980. These human responses range broadly from health restoring reactions to an individual episode of illness to development of policy in promoting the long-term health of a population. The unique function of nurses in caring for individuals, sick or well, is to assess their responses to their health status and to assist them in the performance of those activities contributing to health or recovery or dignified death that they would perform unaided if they had the necessary strength, will, or knowledge, and to do this in such a way to help them gain full of a partial independence as rapidly as possible. Within the total health care environment, Nurses share with other health professionals and those in other sectors of public service in the function of planning, implementation, and evaluation to ensure the adequacy of health system for promoting health, preventing illness, and caring for ill and disabled people. Definition of a nurse. The nurse is a person who has completed a program of basic generalized nursing education and is authorized by the appropriate regulatory authority to practice nursing in his or her country. Basic nursing education is a formally recognized program of study to study of study providing a broad and sound foundation in the behavioral life and nursing science for the general practice of nursing, for a leadership role, for a post basic education, for specialty or advanced nursing practice. The nurse is prepared and authorized to engage the general scope of nursing practice, including the promotion of health, prevention of illness, and care of physical ill, mentally ill, and disabled people of all ages and in all healthcare or other community settings to carry out healthcare teaching, to participate fully as a member of the healthcare team, and to supervise and train nursing and healthcare auxiliaries to be involved in research. Nurses meet many people from different backgrounds. A special group of people are disabled people. A special group of people because sick and disabled people are people who have special and often special needs in order to maintain health, to ensure safe care, and to meet the special needs of people with disabilities. Many people do know the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the ICCPR, International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights. ICCPR, an international human rights treaty adopted in 1966. The UK, the United Kingdom, agreed to follow the ICCPR in 1976. It enables people to enjoy a wide range of human rights, including those relating to freedom from torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment and punishment. Article 1, for example, the covenants set out the civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights that everyone has. All peoples have the right of self determination. By virtue of that right, that we freely determine the political status and freely pursue the economic, social, and cultural development, and all peoples may for their own ends freely dispose of their natural health and resources without prejudice to any obligation arising out of international economic cooperation based upon the principle of mutual benefit and international law. In no case may a people be deprived of its own means of subsistence. The states parties to the present covenant, including those having responsibility for the administration of non-self-governing and trust territories, shall promote the realization of the right of self-determination and shall respect the right in conformity with the provisions of the Charter of the United Nations. Article 6. Every human being has the inherent right to life. This right shall be protected by law. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his life. In countries which have not abolished the death penalty, sentence of death may be imposed only for the most serious crimes in accordance with the law in force at the time of the commission of a crime and not contrary to the provisions to the present covenant and to the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment for the crime of genocide. The penalty can only be carried out pursuant to final judgment rendered by a competent court. If the deprivation of life constitutes the crime of genocide, it is understood that nothing in this article shall authorize any state party to the present covenant to derogate in any way from any obligation assumed under the provision of the Convention on Prevention of and Punishment of a crime of genocide. Anyone sentenced to death shall have a right to seek pardon or commutation of a sentence. Amnesty, pardon, or commutation of a sentence of death may be granted in all cases. A sentence of death shall not be imposed for crimes committed by persons below 18 years of age and shall not be carried out on pregnant women. Nothing in this article shall be invoked today or to prevent the abolition of capital punishment by any state party to the present covenant. Article 7. No one shall be subject to torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. In the particular, no one shall be subjected without his free consent to medical or scientific experimentation. Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities has been ratified in 2008 in Germany and in many other countries. The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities became a federal law in Germany in 2008. Surprisingly, many people still do not know about the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, including physicians and nurses. Therefore, I want to share some important articles of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with the audience and knowledge seekers. Article 6. Women with disabilities. State parties recognize that women and girls with disabilities are subject to multiple discrimination and in this regard shall take measures to ensure the full and equal enjoyment by them of all human rights and fundamental freedoms. State parties shall take all appropriate measures to ensure the full development, advancement, and empowerment of women for the purpose of guaranteeing them to exercise and enjoyment of the human rights and fundamental freedoms set out in the present convention. Article 7. Children with disabilities. State parties shall take all necessary measures to ensure the full enjoyment by children with disabilities of all human rights and fundamental freedoms on equal basis with other children. In all actions concerning children with disabilities, in the best interest of a child shall be a primary consideration. State parties shall ensure that children with disabilities have a right to express their views freely on all matters affecting them, with their views being given due weight in accordance with their age and maturity on an equal basis with the other children, and to be provided with disability and age appropriate assistance to realize that right. Article 8. Awareness rising. State parties undertake to adopt immediate, effective, and appropriate measures to raise awareness throughout society, including the family level regarding persons with disabilities and to foster respect the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities, to combat stereotypes, prejudice, prejudices, and harmful practices relating to persons with disabilities, including those based on sex and age in all areas of life, to promote awareness of the capabilities and contributions of persons with disabilities. Measures to this end include initiating and maintaining effective public awareness campaigns designed to nurture receptiveness to the rights of persons with disabilities, to promote positive perceptions and greater social awareness towards persons with disabilities, to promote recognition of the skills, merits, and abilities of persons with disabilities and of their contributions to the workplace and the labor market, fostering at all levels of the education system, including in all children from an early age, an attitude of respect for the rights of persons with disabilities, encouraging all organs of the media to portray persons with disabilities in a manner consistent with the purpose of the present convention. Article 9, access, accessibility, to enable persons with disabilities to live independently and participate fully in all aspects of life. State parties shall take appropriate measures to ensure to persons with disabilities access on an equal basis with others to the physical environment, to transportation, to information and communications, including information and communications technologies and systems, to other facilities and services open or provided to the public both in urban and rural areas. These measures, which shall include the identification and elimination of obstacles and barriers to accessibility, shall apply to inter alia buildings, roads, transportation, and other indoor and outdoor facilities, including schools, housing, medical facilities, and workplaces. Information communications and other services, including electronic services and emergency services. State parties shall also take appropriate measures to develop, promulgate, and monitor the implementation of minimum standards and guidelines for the accessibility of facilities and services open or provided to the public. Ensure that the private entities that offer facilities and services which are open or provided to the public take into account of all aspects of accessibility for persons with disabilities, provide training for stakeholders on accessibility issues facing persons with disabilities, provide in buildings and other facilities open to the public signage in braille and easy to read and understand forms, provide live assistance and intermediaries, including guides, readers, and professional signs language interpreters to facilitate accessibility to buildings and other facilities open to the public, promote other appropriate forms of assistance and support to persons with disabilities to ensure their access to information, promote access for persons with disabilities to new information and communications technologies and systems, including the internet, promote the design, development, production, and distribution of accessible information and communication technologies and systems at an early age so that these technologies and systems become access- accessible at minimum cost. Article 10, right to life. State parties reaffirm that every human being has the inherent right to life and shall take all necessary measures to ensure its effective enjoyment by persons with disabilities on an equal basis with others. You will find the 47 articles of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities on www.ohchr.org. According to the UN fact sheet on persons with disabilities issued by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, disability and people with disabilities in the world, around 15% of the world's population, or estimated about 1 billion people, live with disabilities. They are the world's largest minority, according to the WHO, which is the World Health Organization. This figure is increasing through population growth, medical advances, and the aging process, says the World Health Organization (WHO). In countries with life expectancies over 70 years, individuals spend on average about 8 years, or 11.5% of their lifespan, living with disabilities. Disabled world. 80% of persons with disabilities live in developing countries, according to the UN Development Programme. Disability rates are significantly higher among groups with lower educational attainment in the countries of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD), says the OECD Secretariat. On average, 90% of less educated people have disabilities, compared to 11% among the better educated. In most OECD countries, women report higher incidence of disability than men. The World Bank estimates that 20% of the world's poorest people have some kind of disability and tend to be regarded in their own communities as the most disadvantaged, according to the World Bank. Women with disabilities are recognized to be multiplied disadvantaged, experiencing exclusion on account of their gender and their disability. Women and girls with disabilities are particularly vulnerable to abuse. A small 2004 survey in Orissa, India, found that virtually all of the women and girls with disabilities were beaten at home. 25% of the women with intellectual disabilities had been raped, and 6% of women with disabilities had been forcibly sterilized. According to UNICEF, 13% of street youths have some kind of disability. Nurse Choice and AMN Healthcare are providing 7 nurse tips on caring for patients with disabilities, such as: recognize that nonverbal does not equal lack of cognition. When faced with a nonverbal person, it can be easy to assume the lack of verbal communication as an indication that they are not aware of their surrounding and or do not understand their situation. Unfortunately, this mistake can lead to an uncomfortable responses and reduce the patient's trust in the caregiver. Many times, these patients may have behavioral episodes precisely because of their caretaker or clinician become some procedure without letting them know beforehand, says Rafael E. Salazar II, MHS OTRL President and CEO of Rehab U Practice Solutions. I always tell people that even if they think it doesn't matter at clinicians, we need to treat every patient with work with as if we are fully aware of what's going on. Maintain constant communication with patients who are blind. Patients with vision impairments or blindness cannot rely on environmental cues or those given through body language. Every action must be explained verbally to prevent startling your patient or provoking a defensive reaction. This can also help your patient retain some control over the situation by offering empowerment through knowledge and understanding. Robert Solas, a blind patient who has experienced this situation, explains for anyone who is disabled and depending on their senses to tell them what is going on, this can be quite disconcerting. A few nurse tips Solas offers include speak to the patient rather than their family member when asking questions. Do not touch the patient unannounced. Verbally communicate any action you plan to take. Talk to a blind person the same way you would a patient with full vision. Don't enter or leave the room without a verbal announcement. Ask the advice of a patient or the caregiver. Patients with disabilities and those assigned with their regular care will have extensive knowledge of preferences and things to avoid. This is especially true when it comes to the young patients with disabilities. If a patient has a disability, I ask that the patient or parent how they usually do something or prefer to do it, says Christine Kent, which is a RN, CRRN, CPSD at Shriners Hospital for Children. They are often already experts in their own care, even including the children. Consider the impact of your language. Be aware of many times patients with disabilities are subjected to or never assume what your patient will feel if you use any of them. Some will prefer to be referred as disabled, while others may take offense to it. Also, try not to inadvertently define your patients by their disability and lean towards people first language. Rather than labeling someone as an autistic child, change the wording to be a child with autism. This emphasizes the patient's humanity and force the nature of a disability to be secondary. If you are unsure of how a patient wishes to be addressed, ask. Make use of the communications and assistive tools available in the facility. Many hospitals and clinics have tools and staff available to help ease the communication barriers when caring for patients with disabilities. Most facilities will have picture cards with patients who are nonverbal or deaf to help nurses communicate directly or access an employee who is fluent in American Sign Language, for example, ASL. For patients who are blind, hospital directional signs on walls are often imprinted with braille to help them to navigate the halls, offer or point offer or point out these services to give your patient the option of taking advantage of them. Ask before helping with mobility. When working with a patient with a mobility impairment, it may be instructional to assist. However, it is important to ask the patient if they wish assistance before taking any action and respect their wishes if they decline the offer. For many patients with disabilities, retaining independence is important, and the assumptions made by those with good intentions can inadvertently make the patient feel defensive. Taking a moment to ask the patient if they want your help gives them the option to decline with dignity or accept while still maintaining control over their lives. Be mindful and unapparent disabilities. Many disabilities are not easily recognizable, especially for those with conditions or abnormalities that affects the brain or nervous system and those with development delays. When caring for patients with disabilities of this type, keep their condition in mind when interpreting behavior. It's common for these patients to display unusual behavior that is actually quite normal for their situation. Also, make sure you keep your focus on the patient and communicate clearly. Those with brain impairments may have difficulty to understanding complex sentences, but will still be the best source of information for you to provide care. The most important nurse tip is to remember is to treat patients with disabilities as individuals. Just as non-disabled patients have a spectrum of preferences and triggers, patients with physical or mental impairments do as well. Keep communication clear and directed at your patient. Be sensitive to a possible language triggers and take time to ask about anything you're unsure of. When caring for patients with disabilities, these nurse tips can help you to avoid some of the more obvious pitfalls and allow you to earn your patient's trust. You will find more information on nursechoice.com, www.nursechoice.com. Very special thanks to all knowledge seekers and the Institute of Global Professionals for listening and caring on the issue on the subject nursing and medical assistance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for a rich
Thank you.
content presentation which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our question and answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question part, answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question. We are waiting for your questions. Sir, I think we covered the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Honorable sir, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for our webinar certification. This is the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for our webinar certification. This is the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning skills passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the credit. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Certificate instruction. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test, passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We change a few process for online live quiz competition. Note that after live, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Browse the live quiz button or give a link. Find the session name and join with your logged in website or user account. Click join and wait for a minute for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for top 10 as previously, which you can find on our official Facebook page and Group Institute of Global Professional. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. 19 people. We are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is nursing medical management of hypogenemia. Option 1, genemesia left. IV administrator W infusion pump. Option 2, PT does the need to be and cellular reactions. Option 1 is the right answer, and 92% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jimalian is holding the first position. Our next question is nursing medical management of hypermegasemia. Option 1, administration of medication containing magnesium. Option 2, hemodialysis. Option 2 is the right answer. 0% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our next question is nursing medical management for respiratory alcoholism. Option 1, anesthesia agent. Option 2, do not have PT breath into bed. Option 1 is the right answer, and 77% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our next question is nursing medical management of respiratory acidosis. Option 1, mechanical ventilator is not necessary. Option 2, bronchial antibiotics, anticonjunctivials. Option 2 is the right answer, and 93% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our next question is nursing medical management for metabolic acidosis. Option 1, bicarbonate may be administered. Option 2, monitor calcium levels. Option 2 is the right answer. 96% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our next question is what is the nursing medical term of itching? Option 1, impurity. Option 2, purities. Option 2 is the right answer, and 62% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jimalian is holding the first position. Our next question is abbreviation cannot be used in nursing medical notes. Option 1 false, option 2 true. Option 1 is the right answer, and 69% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Miara is holding the first position. Our next question is nursing medical and physical therapy students participating in a simulation activity. Option 1 yes, option 2 true, no. Option 1 is the right answer. 93% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Mian is holding the first position. Our next question is offer nursing, medical, and mental health care to OCC students. Option 1, Student Success Center. Option 2, Student Health Center. Option 2 is the right answer. 86% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Myanmar is holding the first position. Our next question is, which of these database is not focused for nursing medical research? Option 1, PubMed. Option 2, JSTOR. Option 2 is the right answer, and 94% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Mian is holding the first position. So congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill, never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not a people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, once again, thank you so much for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.